Hi there, welcome to the Single Dads Unplugged. This is your host, Thembiso Phakathi. This is season 5, and we are still talking about fatherhood and parenting, and we are all about building bridges between fathers and kids, and we do this by engaging with a lot of fathers that get to know our network because we want them to tell their stories and we want them to share their experiences with us because we want to impact so many fathers out there that are grappling and navigating fatherhood. And with me today, I've got Sicelo Nkosi. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Show.
Thank you for having me, Phakathi.
Yes, let's start there. I was reading some of the synopsis about your story, about where you come from. I know you're a businessman and you're running this with your wife. But before you got married, maybe tell us about how many kids you had before then and how you were raising them.
I had 2.
Okay.
Obviously. Raising them, I'm not sure. Because, at times when we get platforms like this, we get very bitter and start singing praises about ourselves. Okay. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I can tell you is that at the time I had my children, I did not have any job. I did not have any formal job. Mm. So you can imagine where you are having a situation where you rely solely on the mothers. And now the families,
Yes.
They would start they start labeling you and all that. It doesn't want to work and all that. Mm. Raising them, there is nothing that you can offer at that time except to give them attention, you give them love. Yes. You are just there. Yeah. You are just there because one thing that I've picked up is that most Yamachit, when they find themselves in that situation,
yes,
where and the next thing you don't have any means to support. You then start, distancing yourself. Remember, this thing does not affect you directly as Uchita, if you think about it.
Yeah.
For mama, kudinga ukuthi umntwana ahlale 9 months asibelethweni. For me to be a father, it doesn't take anything. It just takes me to acknowledge my role to the child. And I think this is where we miss it. Because maybe sifuna which is a sibe neighbor or not, so that we can have the connection that we need to have, and it shouldn't be like that. So that was my only way of keeping up with them, spending time with them, doing things with them, attending to what needs to be attended. But obviously, the bridge that creates some distance. I don't know whether I'm putting it right, because if there isn't a bridge, there wouldn't be any distance, or there would be. But is that you cannot provide. And you'll discover these women are sindwa because you can't come to the party.
Because the load is only on their
side. The load is on their side. So I had to be there. I had to stay in touch with them and never allow the distance.
Did they live with the mother all the time?
They were living.
They
were living with their mother.
Okay.
They were living with their mother. I would go. See them, visit and come back, and that was it. And then they were how old when you now moved into the married situation? Did they ever live with you before you got married? Full time, in other words, or they were always living with the mother? No, I never lived with them because it was a girlfriend, boyfriend. Yes. But that visit, that constant visit, that basically what created the bond. Because one thing that I believe works is that the child must know ukuthi ubaba lo.
Yes, that's important.
And ukuthi umntanami lo. Ukuthi unani, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And that's how they were raised.
How did you build that, Stella? How did you build that bond? Because I always ask the people that come to this show, Uguti, are there specific things, activities, whether niyadlala ndawonye, niyatravela, or kunama rituals or traditions benwenza the times you were with them that created that bond?
You just become a father.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the shop, asambise shop.
What that?
Uyamthatha asambise shop mawufika uthenga amakipkip umthengela amakipkip. It is simple.
And it's important.
It is very important. It is saying to you and your attitude, I want to do this. Though I cannot do it now, but I want to do this. You know, you make an effort. You say ithing bambi taxi ngemali yokugcina.
Yes.
Just ukuthi ngembone, even if ngizome ekhoneni ngembone.
And it's just a decision that you make.
It's a decision.
And it's a commitment.
And honestly speaking, awazi ukuthi uyenzelani.
And you don't have to have a reason.
You don't have to have a reason. But the thing that makes fathers not to look after the children is the reason that they're looking for, because you'll never find one.
It's an excuse they're looking for.
Yeah. They're looking for an excuse. You want, why should I do this? Why should I be? Umama kuyamenzela. Umama kuyamenzela.
Yeah. But before we get to a situation where you now live as a big family, blended family, I want you to just stay with that point, Bafo Uguti. What causes fathers, especially where you've got kids with someone that you never lived with, that you never got married to, that pushes guys especially to just almost abandon their responsibilities and just provide from a distance. And some of them will provide financially, but emotionally they are not present. What causes us guys to be so far away emotionally from the kids?
Mangishela ntombi angicabanga responsibility. I'm thinking fun. Manje nangu seka usuku uzonginikeza responsibility yokwenzani.
Okay.
How do I connect to that responsibility? I think it is the lack of foresight.
Okay.
As to what kind of a man do you want to become at the end? Do you want to be a family man? Do you want to drive a family? Do you want to run a family? Or you're just having sex, you're having fun.
Yeah.
You have fun, and when the fun has ended, what happens thereafter? Because the fun has given results now. And when those results were not part of your plan, Pale.
Yeah.
They were not. When I bofuna ukuzishayela umntwana, you understand and enjoy. And amajita asho uphethe umntwana njengoba ulibona le bajaza lami ufuna ukubonwa nalo. Ufuna ukubonwa nalo nje. Uthi uyabonwa. And then nangu seka pregnant. Seka pregnant, seka funa amanapkin kubani?
She no longer looks the same.
Yeah. No, maybe she does. But ubani lo? If you are not conscious of where you're going, if you're not conscious of your decision, your destiny and the legacy you want to leave, ubani lo?
And how is she going to support you get there if you yourself do not understand where you go?
You understand. The mother will know because leqanda lihlalela kuyo. Mina. The fluid that creates left at the time.
Yes.
So what is my connection with that? There is absolutely
so creating that connection is actually intentional. Should be intentional.
It is intentional.
Should be deliberate.
It is very much so. Pagat, you need to start saying lo uyimi.
Decide.
Uyimi lo. Whatever that person is going to be, it's going to reflect on me.
It should reflect on me.
Yeah, and if you're not connected to that thing of your self-love, purpose, the dignity that you want to bring to your family name as a man, you are likely to say, makangaxhumene nami ngihlangana phi na. Akunakabe sikwayo kimi phela umezalo.
How did your presence shape the upbringing of the kids to who they are today? How old are they now, the first two?
25 and 20.
So they're quite big. Okay.
Yeah.
So but how did that shape their upbringing and their attitude, just their approach to life itself? Can you notice the qualities in them that were shaped just by you being there?
I think it's respect.
Respect, yeah.
Responsibility.
It's a big one.
And ambition.
Okay.
And ambition. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, when you get into my house, you cannot tell ukuthi who's what.
Who came first?
Who came
last?
Laws, you understand the law, but you just see because they behave the same way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the teachings and the upbringing with all of them is the same. You can't tell who came with you and who came with the mother.
You can't.
Yeah. Let's get to that point, because I want us to get to a point where you share with us the blended family approach. Are there specific things that you begin to do or teach them to acknowledge and accept the other kids, especially the one that came with the wife, or it just happened naturally under your watch?
You know, I think it will sound as if I'm praising her because she's here. I did not do any job there. Okay. One of the good things that had happened is that my wife loved my children before I even tried.
Wow.
I even tried to,
She embraced the situation.
Actually, it did not start with her. We are lying. It started with her mother.
Oh, the grandmother.
The grandmother.
Okay.
My children loved the grandmother. When I say my children, I'm not talking about these two. I'm talking all of them.
All of them. Mm-hmm.
So they were all connected to one person. So she became a center that held,
Wow.
And because they were gravitating towards Umama Nkosi, who is late, may her soul rest in peace. They gravitated towards her, and it made my job easier, let alone the grandmother from my side, because I'm listen to this, and it is very important, because I spoke about it on my Facebook page. The first decision you make is that you love this woman, and your love for this woman move your entire being moves towards her.
Yeah.
Right? Then it doesn't have to be a whole lot of other people involved. And when they realized that Ubaba is gravitating towards that side, because we have the relationship, I miss them, they miss me.
Of course.
They come. And when they come, they're no longer coming to me. How? Labafan. They are going to Granny.
Bayagu. So they had a relationship. They formed a relationship very quickly.
Very deep.
Are there boys? How many boys? How many girls in total?
2. I have 2 boys. I have actually, I don't like this topic. I usually do not talk about that.
Okay.
But we have boys and 1 girl.
Oh, okay.
So they were gravitating towards the granny, as I'm saying. So we are watching. Both of us, we were watching what is happening. And we are free, Now, when they come to us in one voice. Mama no baba. Mama no baba. Mama no baba. Then it started. Then when we sat down, we then started forming a family vision that everyone must adhere to.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That is
this was inside the house now. Of course, for the whole family.
Yeah,
did we discuss it?
Phela yabona phakathi manje uzongibuza izinto ngizokutshela ezinye izinto obungafuni ukuzazi. Remember when I started the relationship, that was about 2011.
Yeah.
Bengihlala back room khabo media.
Hayibo.
Yeah.
Kubo.
Yeah.
A back room.
Yeah.
Okay. And then eventually both of you moved out.
Yeah, let me just tell you the story. It's a story that I'm very proud of. It forms part of who I am and the relationship that I have with my family.
Okay.
There was no trouble at home. It should not paint my parents because they were divorced, because I just loved my woman, and she was working, I was working. And then now uyabona uphuma espanini niyabona na ukhathele uyazilalisa ufuni uyolala endlini and you move in impahla sezigcwele la. Now the boys are with Ukraine from my side, and every time they from school they come. Bafuna ukubona ubaba, then sebabhizi nogogo bayadlala nogogo munye, and that gelled the family nicely. So you'll understand now how it happened. Now when they were busy moving towards me, ngihleli ngusibari makoti ne ngusibari makoti ne. I want to tell you the whole story so that you'll understand how this was well built.
I'm with you.
Now they come, and then we are one big family. And then we realize, no man, this thing is growing, and it's growing very fast.
Wow.
God blessed me with a wife, not only beauty. She blessed me with a wife. And then she says, can't we find a place? Not because we were suffocating, no. Can we find a place? And then we went out, and then we rented a house in Springs. That's where the seriousness of the work began. Because now what you need to do, akasekho phela manje umagogo. Say begin Say Peganenai, they have to say mama, they have to say baba, all of them.
All of them.
And you must remember, it's not only, Tina, we do not only have children that will come from her, from me. We have children.
We're just kids, yeah.
All of them. I'm not talking about the blended family. All of, one gena wati mama, wati baba, umtanetu. You get into our company, bambiza ma old lady. No one ati mamkos. No one.
But old lady.
But old lady. Mabaza gimbati time.
Okay.
So you can understand that spirit.
I'm with you.
So it moves like that. We get into the family, now we are learning. Umama no baba na bantwana.
Tell me about that vision. So did you call them together, or it was just the two of you having that vision and then unveiling it to the kids, or was it just a combined meeting?
Obviously, Pakati, it will start with me and her.
Of course.
To say, mhlambe, something is happening, and say, as a father, he will say, you don't allow these things. We need to raise a responsible and decent. It's a responsible, decent, and disciplined citizens of the country. That's what we must. Yeah. So she knew it became, and she would measure them against that. Now, what happens as we go along? When we reprimand them, we reprimand them based on that. Then they also started singing that.
Okay.
Now, when you question the behavior and say, is this responsible? Is this decent? Is this discipline?
So you have to constantly evaluate.
Yeah. So you ask them these three questions, and they'll start saying, no, siyaxolisa baba no mama. Siyaxolisa baba no mama. Now, everyone doesn't come to Baba and Mama. They go to the vision.
Okay.
How easy is that?
Because now they understand and follow the vision, because they have to align to it. Yes.
Yes, they have to. And another thing that helped. Hey, mama. And I had to say one day to them, this is your mother. And she's not my mother. She's your mother. She's my wife. And she's not your wife.
How did that change their attitude or their behavior?
They know they can't touch my girl. Everyone.
And she's protected now.
No, everyone in the house, they understand that this is my girl, this is my baby. And the love that we have towards each other. The boys will always say, when I grow and I have a wife, I want to be like you.
Like
So
you,
there is a modeling, the role modeling. So you want to ask me about blended? There is nothing blended there.
It's just one family.
It comes together nicely. You know, when we were drinking a juice now. What's the name of the juice?
A fruit cocktail.
Fruit cocktail. You want to do what? To produce what? Juice.
Yes.
So that's the focus. You don't look at their personalities. You don't look at where does this one come from.
Because they're different as human beings.
Yes, you allow them.
Fine.
You allow them. It's fine. But there's one thing. We have to meet somewhere. And where is that?
You just mentioned something I talk about a lot. We talk about a lot in this show around role modeling. But you're raising boys as well. How do you, because I know fathers instill discipline and values, but are there specific things that you do, especially with the boys, around discipline and values, or with all of them, that you want to share with our audience? Uguti, this is what works for me. I understand this thing around vision and instilling discipline, yes, but are there specific things that you do, particularly with the boys, around discipline and instilling values? Uguti, bengakhohlwa ukuthi as a family, this is what we stand for.
One is the vision.
Okay.
Vision disciplines. Why are you here? Is it Sunday today? Yes, it's Sunday. Why are you here on Sunday? It is because there's something that needs to be done.
Absolutely.
You can't discipline children without a vision.
And
Yeah.
behavior.
Yeah. Now you need to put a certain type of a vision board.
Okay.
What is it that you see them becoming? And you start saying, if you want to become this, then it means this and that and that and that won't work.
It's about prioritizing and compromising sometimes. Yeah.
Yes. So you need to put something in front of them. Once you do that, but you cannot continue to do that if they do not see the beauty of the love. You know, we never taught them to say when we have done something, they're working with us.
In the business.
We're in the business.
Wow.
They have worked. And when they come, abathi siyabonga baba or siyabonga mama. They say siyabonga baba no mama. Because they understand that. So this is why I was saying initially, you make them understand, this is my baby, this is my woman, this is my girl. You don't touch him. And Naya shows the same thing. Now, once you do that, that is a blender. So my relationship with her is a blender. Because they know they cannot separate.
Yeah, they have to respect.
They have to respect one, this. Two, they need to understand there is no one better than the other between the two of us.
That's very good.
Yeah, but it's young ngoba yabo ikare yakhe le ngiza ngayo manje abayithinti badlalela kweyami and under normal circumstances they would dlalela kwekamama than
but it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't because Yana, I think she's more strong good discipline. Yeah, she's more stronger with discipline now. Okay. They know it's a no nonsense when it comes to using this. But the blending, I want to talk about this blending. Mina ngiyazi lento enithi blended family ukuthi because it happens once you have a blender. What is a blender? Understand what is it that you can put here as a blender.
To make something. You just touched, Stella, on the business. How do you? I understand the older ones, I can imagine, work in the business, if not all of them, but how do you make sure that you balance the demands of your businesses or your business with parenting? And if there are fathers listening to us out there that are running businesses like you, how do you make space and time to just understand, listen, guide, mentor your kids at the same time? And what advice would you give us?
Usually when we are at the farm, working at the farm, we are all there.
Okay.
So sesiyamazi usebenza kakhulu, siyamazi uthi makabambe into izolunga, siyamazi okhekhelezayo uzoloku agijima enza ngathi khona into ayenzayo, but then this is when you have time. Unlike I'm working at Pagati's enterprise somewhere, then I have to be back home at 5. It is not like that. We are always in touch with them. So we've started a tombstone business now.
Oh, okay.
They will be constantly in touch with the mother, myself. Mina ngibamba bambi phone.
Okay.
So there's that.
So they are very much, so it's easier when they are involved in the business. Because like you say, they don't stay somewhere else and just go to them when you knock off. They are part of the business.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. So you are here with them always. Even law and Thomasani, because she's doing law.
Oh, okay.
Use UG. Every day.
That's amazing.
So
the boys are always there.
Yeah, should be asked to why there is no phone call, why you're not here, because this is happening. So we raise them in a way that, imagine the hijacking that I was telling you about.
Yes.
I'm always with my wife, bro.
And this happened when while she was present.
No, yes, we were together. It's never easy to find me alone. I'm all mangabengila angabonakala, you must know she's somewhere around here. Or imagine if these guys decided to kill us. That's another thing we always ask ourselves. Ukuthi ufuna ukushiya abantwana abanjani? You want that unity, not the united front, but that unity, the genuine unity amongst them. And I don't know why we would want to talk about that being impossible, talking about that unity. Ngoba mhlambo omunye kubusise kumama abanye kwabusise kubaba ngabo in terms of birth.
Okay.
Because you will find families abazalwa umama nobaba oyi-one.
Yes.
Umama nobaba baza bonke. And you still have troubles.
Of course.
So the issue of it plays no.
Shouldn't matter, yeah.
It shouldn't matter, but it would matter if we do not understand each other.
And how you lead them.
Yeah, yabona manje ukuthi ubani nobani yabona abantwana bakho ayikhulunywa leyo nto.
Yeah, indaba ka stepfather.
Ayikhulunywa indaba ukuthi stepfather or stepmother ayikhulunywa leyo. Akukho ukuthi abantwana nakathi abantwana bami, she's talking about all of them.
Yeah, and they get it like that. How did you have to convince them to join the business, or did they, especially the boys, did they also had like different career choices and then eventually they joined the business?
They do.
Or was it their choice, or was it you suggesting they should join?
They do. Even now they do.
Even now, okay.
Even now
so
they
do have different careers.
Not careers as such. Interests.
Oh, okay.
They have their businesses as well. Yeah, but
that's good.
I think they're scared of watching other people bazothatha imali kubo. One.
They want to be part of it.
They want to be, but they want to badle imali yakubo bona kuqala. 2, they want to learn the business. Okay. 3, they are forced. At times, I'll have to be honest. Sometimes we tell them, "Ukuthi ayazini guys, kumele lamajangene you know what, guys? Fanele imbuzi nenkomo ziyohlatshwe. And unless you are not available.
And also they've learned the skills, so it's not like they don't know how to get involved. So you've taught them.
Yeah. But as I keep saying, the most important thing is to get them thinking the same way. I don't know ukuthi ngayithatha phi camera mangisengisethuneni noma sengisezulwini and watch if what we have taught them will continue.
It's a good legacy. It's a legacy you're leaving behind.
It's a legacy. But now that you are saying that there's a book that I've written, it's Legacy, Greatness Beyond the Grave.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I want to see when we're not around. When we are dead, not around, because we can be in Durban, easily in the USA. But when I'm no longer alive, I would want to see what is it that is going to happen. Because as I was telling you outside, that the priority is such that, we put family ahead of the business. If you succeed with family, it's easy to succeed with business. I'll tell you, almost everyone that is working with us or for us is calling me Baba, calling her Mama. And you know why? Because our children, they call us Baba no Mama.
Okay.
But they work the way they should work.
They don't take the work for granted.
Yeah. So it has just become one big family. This is why I'm saying, when we're talking about blending, it's going to be difficult to explain. Because I have people who are working, who are sons. Also, who will literally say, hey, he has time. Ngiyabheda anginampupho and say but guys angeke nginibhadale ngijike ngibheke ukuthi ninempupho.
You can't spoon feed.
They would go to mama the same way, though we do not want that trend, but you understand that they are not saying mama because it's the easy name or word to use. It is because that's how they see us. If not, they wish they could have been part of this family.
Of that, yeah. Now we're going to close, Stella, because this is a very exciting topic. Because what you're doing is passing down the legacy of not just the business, but the teachings of the good family, which I really appreciate. If you had to advise dads, just dads, not single dads, out there listening as we close around the power of presence and the power of guidance, coaching and mentoring, because I think the opposite, we talk here in this show so much about fatherlessness and the effects of it and all of that, but let's stay on the side of positivity around this. What advice would you give fathers that are listening, Uguti? These are the benefits of just being close to your kids and understanding them, and also, even if it's not about business, understanding them and them understanding you, because that void, the gap, the vacuum you wanna close that gap. What advice would you give them for them to do different things to get close? Because we are all about building bridges between fathers and the kids in this show. Are there specific things that you would encourage them to do or not to do to create that bonding?
Model it first.
Okay.
You start by modeling it. You start with your wife. My wife is not my sister. I'm not her brother. Bona, they are brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
The unity, the oneness.
The parental unity.
Yeah. You start with that. Then you move into prioritizing them.
I see now. Okay.
You prioritize them, which means I'll never put my mother and my father before them.
Okay.
No.
They have to come first.
They will watch this and they know.
Yeah.
My wife, my children,
And then the
then the parents.
Oh, the parents.
No, they come later.
Yeah.
So nothing from the family, the family that I come from,
Sure.
will interfere with the family I created. So they are valued, and they know.
And they understand the power of that, okay?
They understand that. Listen to them. You will miss some of the things. Listen to them. Hear them. I apologize to my children as harsh as I can be.
That's good.
Sometimes I can come in and ubone ukuthi shem umama sekabhekile ukuthi hey waze wamemeza umuntu ememezela into engekho khona manje benza ukuthi bathathe imoto yami benzeni and then mabangena banothe thathe imoto yabo. I'm making an example and she's quiet at the time.
Yeah.
And then I say hayibo uzothethisa abantwana kangaka abathunywe uwe nje labantwana. Manje baba kusho wena wathi sivuke namhlanje yi19 sambile saya lapha. Sengikhuluma ngakhuluma. Then I'll be able to say I'm so sorry. Ngiyaxolisa.
And most parents don't do that. They think it minimum.
I don't know that from my parents. Even today.
Yeah, me as well.
No, I don't know that from my parents. I made it a point that I'll apologize to my children.
And that's okay. Yeah, most parents will not do that.
And talk to them. Talk to them about topics lawa abazali ababalekelayo.
And you mentioned something powerful, actually, to listen to them and not just listen to them, hear what they have to say, and then they want to feel heard as well. And as parents, sometimes we like dishing instructions, but we are not prepared to hear what they have to tell us.
But also, khuluma nabo, nabo cherry. Lo wentombazana, mbuzo. Ngithi mangizokufonela, ungabambi phone, uzama ukuthi ubambile lapho or ubanjiwe. And we would talk about that openly. No, I'm being honest.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a pity that we can't have her in the show because it's for fathers. There is something that I've created. Nabantwana bami. I mean, I talk to them and say, "Khona manje uphuma kuphi kuyo yabo." And ungathola ukuthi you did not even use a condom. Hayi baba bengayanga lapho ngithi no ngikhuluma ngayindawo bongayanga kuyo ngikhuluma ngaleyo ukuthi bokwenza ukuthi did you do this?
Yeah.
You know, and you would be amazed how my baby girl will approach.
It creates trust.
Yeah,
when you talk about
she comes to me.
She can approach you.
She can
anything.
She can. You know. Hey, Umbali would embarrass you. She would just walk in. Baba, yazi anginama pets.
Wow.
Ngithi yini wena why you learn? No, I mean it's that time of the month and it's so easy.
It's to talk about those things.
Yeah.
Because you opened the door and you made it okay.
But watch the balance. When I talk to you about that, don't ever think I'm your friend.
Of course, there are boundaries.
Yeah, they know.
Same with the boys.
Talk
to them
boy too.
about the
Both.
girls. So they know the boundaries.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't even have to use that. There's a look.
Oh,
they know what as June 16 as Coelho.
And they see that look.
Yeah. But it is a very interesting journey. I don't know Guti Amachita who are not participating in their children's life. They don't they know what they're depriving themselves of.
It's just so much.
I do not know whether they understand. the pain yokudelelwa yintwana zakho because izenza abo clever sicabanga ukuthi akushaya babuye ngemoto yakhe ebusuku like yesterday babuye ngemoto yakhe ebusuku
bathi bezulile
bazulile they will use lezi zinto bobathume zona and you say but ngiyazi ukuthi ngiyazi uJunior angeke adlale kuze kushaye u6 ibhola akadlali kuze kushaye u6 so there is no way ningangena ngo8 ningitshela ukuthi benimele uJunior
we practice
you know and uyakwata yabo and when you look at them you look at the mother there is this yabo yakudina at first because bayahleka you know they have this yabo njengoba benza so bayahleka but you know so there's this balance man that you create when you talk about blended family that balance yokuthi lo makashisa lo uyapolisa lo
neutralizer
or neutralizer but there's something when we see that there's danger now we go hard united
as long as that discipline
no we go together and say no this is not happening so the issue of family it does not start with the father only it starts with the father choosing a wife and building the relationship with the wife then izozehlela yona.
Those of you watching, I'd like you to follow us on part of season 6, because season 6 we're going to be interviewing sons like Sicelo's sons around how they view his role in their upbringing. In fact, one other Sunday dad that is raising 5 boys, because they're over 18, they will be able to come to our show. Watch out for that, because we're going to ask them specific things around what Mr. Nkosi is talking about. My friend, this was beautiful, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Pagat.
Thanks, man. Thank you.